Do you know why the tighter you hold on to life, the more it slips through your fingers? And why the moment you loosen your grip, everything starts flowing again? Most people are drowning, not because life is heavy, but because they refuse to let go of the weight. They cling to old mistakes, old identities, old pain, old expectations, and then wonder why they feel exhausted all the time. They try to control everything: their future, their image, other people's opinions, and lose the only thing they actually had: peace. Taoism teaches something that sounds dangerous to modern ears. Stop forcing. Stop chasing. Stop gripping. Not because effort is bad, but because life collapses when you fight its current. Here is the paradox that nobody tells you. The more you chase happiness, the further it runs from you. The more you try to control people, the more lonely you become. The more you force success, the more empty it feels. This is why you feel stuck even though you're trying so hard. You're swimming against the Tao, the natural flow of life. 2,000 years ago, a quiet old man named Laozi wrote one sentence that terrifies egos. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Read that again, slowly, because this single idea can end 90% of your suffering. You are suffering not because your life is hard, but because you refuse to release who you think you should be. You are gripping an identity that no longer fits your soul, and calling the pain discipline. Taoism calls this Wu Wei, effortless action, aligned action, natural action. Wu Wei doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing nothing that isn't in harmony with your nature. Here's the brutal truth. Most of your problems are self-inflicted by resistance. You are not tired because you work too much. You are tired because you fight reality all day. And here is where everything changes. Because letting go is not weakness. It is mastery. In a moment, I'll tell you a story Taoist masters used to shatter control addiction. A story that quietly destroys anxiety at its root. But first, answer this honestly. What are you gripping so tightly that it's crushing your life? Because the moment you release that one thing, your life will begin to move again. And that is where Taoism truly begins. Not with gaining power, but with surrendering illusion. A Taoist master once told a story so simple that most people miss how violently it destroys anxiety. There was a farmer whose only horse ran away one morning. The villagers said, "How terrible. Your life is ruined." The farmer replied, "Maybe." The next day the horse returned with 3 wild horses. The villagers said, "How wonderful. You are blessed." The farmer replied again, "Maybe." The farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses. He fell and broke his leg. The villagers said, "What a disaster." The farmer replied, "Maybe." A week later, soldiers came to recruit young men for war. They skipped the farmer's son because of his broken leg. The villagers said, "You are so lucky." The farmer replied one last time, "Maybe." This story isn't about horses. It's about your addiction to judging everything too early. You decide what something means before life finishes the sentence, and then you panic over a story that isn't real yet. Taoism teaches this quietly dangerous idea. Reality is neutral. Your mind is the tyrant. You are not suffering from events. You are suffering from the meaning you attach to them. This is why letting go feels terrifying, because you think control is keeping you safe. But control isn't safety. It's delayed panic. Here is the brutal secret Taoism reveals. Everything you are afraid to lose is already leaving. Your image, your relationships, your plans, your body, your status, your certainty. You can't stop the river of change. You can only decide whether to float or drown. This is Wu Wei in real life. Not passivity, only alignment. You stop forcing outcomes and start choosing responses. This one shift ends most suffering, because nothing breaks you faster than unmet expectations. You don't need life to go your way. You need the strength to flow with whatever way it goes. And here is the moment most people miss. Letting go does not make you weak. It makes you untouchable, because nothing can be taken from someone who isn't gripping anything. In a few moments, I'll show you exactly how to practice letting go. A ritual so simple it feels fake, yet it rewires your nervous system. And once you experience it once, you will never fear loss the same way again. The Taoist ritual begins with something humiliatingly small. So small your ego will try to reject it immediately. You sit down. You place both feet on the floor. You do nothing heroic. You do nothing impressive. You breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Then you ask one question that cuts through anxiety like a blade. What am I trying to control right now? Whatever comes to mind, you don't fix it. You don't solve it. You simply say one sentence. Quietly, slowly, without drama. I release my grip on this. That's it. Your mind will laugh at you. It will say, "This is stupid. This won't change anything." That voice is the addiction to control panicking, because it feels its power slipping. Here's what happens next, and nobody warns you about it. Your body exhales before your mind does. Your chest softens. Your jaw unlocks. And for 3 seconds, nothing feels urgent anymore. That 3-second gap is enlightenment in miniature. It's what peace actually feels like. Not fireworks. Not bliss. Just the absence of inner violence. Just the end of self-attack. Now here's the part that rewires your life. You don't do this once. You do it every time you feel tight. Every time you feel rushed. Every time you feel the urge to force an outcome. Every time you feel behind in life. This trains your nervous system to stand down. It teaches your body, we are not under attack. And something strange begins to happen. Life starts solving problems you stop choking. People respond better to you. Opportunities arrive unforced. Your decisions get sharper. Because fear is no longer screaming over your intuition. This is the paradox of Taoism. You gain control by giving it up. And most people will never experience this. Because their ego refuses to loosen its grip. In the next few moments, I'll show you the final trap. The hidden way people sabotage letting go without realizing it. And once you see it, you'll understand why most spiritual advice fails in real life. Here is the hidden way people sabotage letting go. They turn it into another thing to control. They say, "I must stop overthinking. I must be calm all the time." They attack anxiety with discipline. They whip their mind into silence. That is not Taoism. That is just violence in spiritual clothing. Here is the final trap. Trying to get rid of your fear. Taoism never teaches fear removal. It teaches fear inclusion. The moment you allow fear to exist, it loses its authority over you. What you resist does not disappear. It goes underground and grows teeth. This is why affirmations fail. This is why toxic positivity collapses. You cannot bully your nervous system into peace. It only relaxes when it feels safe. So Taoism gives one final instruction. So gentle most people ignore it. When anxiety rises, say, "You can stay." When fear tightens your chest, say, "You belong here too." Your brain will scream, "This is dangerous." But nothing disarms danger like permission. Because fear's job is to protect you, even when it's terrible at it. When you stop treating fear like an enemy, it stops acting like one. This is the identity collapse moment. The death of the inner controller. And here is what replaces it. A quiet, terrifying freedom. Because now you understand something irreversible. Nothing outside you needs to be fixed first. You stop waiting for permission to live. You stop negotiating with the future. And that's when life bends. Not to your will, but to your alignment.